Welcome everyone, and in this video we're going to be talking about the basics of takeoff in Quantify. Once you've created a job and opened the takeoff screen, on the left hand side we can see the drawings list, and in here you can select whatever drawing you'd like and it will load in the viewer area here. I can also select this button to rename the drawings if I want, and I can export drawings with this button here. Now, when you export the drawing, any takeoff that you've done will show up on that drawing. So this lets you export marked up drawings. I can simply select whatever drawings I want to export and give it a file name as export drawing, for example. Now, another reason you might want to export drawings out of a package is if you have a very large package of drawings and you're only interested in a few for your electrical or mechanical takeoffs. You can export those drawings out before you even start, and then you only have to deal with a small drawing list. So once I click save, this will extract those drawings into a PDF for us, and then we're ready to download the drawing. I can click here to download this drawing if I want. I can also have access to these drawings in this drawing list. We can see the 4 drawings that I exported. Or I can go back to our estimate management screen, refresh the page, open the drawing, open the job, and I can see the original file we uploaded, and now there's the export drawing. So if you ever need to download these files later on, you can download them or delete them. Going back to the takeoff screen, one of the first things you want to do when you start doing a job is to set a scale. And all scales are set from known dimensions. We require this because there is no way of knowing if somewhere along the line someone edited or altered the PDF and it might not be the actual scale that it says is on the drawing. So we want to go from a known dimension. That could be a door, that could be a lighting grid layout, that could be column widths, whatever there is that you know what that dimension is. So to set the scale, we will go up top here to scale, and I will select this triangle. From here, I'm going to left click in this door and then left click again at the end. And we notice here that the measurement is in feet. Now we have an imperial drawing, so setting the scale is done in feet. If you have a metric drawing, you're going to see millimeters. So you're going to want to enter in what the actual distance is in millimeters. So for feet, I know that this is 6.5 feet. Click apply, and we can see the scale is set here. What the distance is on the drawing is actually 6.5 feet. Now, if I go to do a takeoff of any kind of length, say for wire or conduit, it's going to automatically calculate everything with the proper scale for this drawing, regardless if anyone altered or changed the scale on this drawing along the way. On the right-hand side, we have a couple of buttons here that we can add text for notes. So if I click here, I can add, this is a note. I can select whatever color I want to have, and I can select the size. Once I click the check mark, this note gets attached to the page. If I wanted to delete this note, I could simply select it and press the delete key. I can also take measurements. Now this can only be done that we've set our scale. But if I wanted to take a measurement, let's say of this room here, I can select the measurement tool, left click, drag around, and we can see on the right-hand side, the measurement is updating in real time. So once I select here on the other wall, I can then extend this measurement wherever I want to. I only want this one measurement, so now I'm going to right click, which will commit that measurement and let me know it is about 15.9 feet. If I wanted to take a measurement off of multiple sides, I can select the measurement tool. Again, left click where I want to start, move down, left click here, left click here, left click again. And if I want to end here, I can right click to commit it. And we can see that this whole line segment is 35 feet. So this gives you great flexibility in taking off whatever dimensions you want to see on the drawing. Now, once you've taken them off, maybe you want them to stay, maybe you don't. You can click on this dimension and press the delete key. Likewise, you can click on the text and delete that as well. The other buttons we have up here are, of course, zooming in and zooming out. You can also do this with a scroll wheel on your mouse or down here on this slider. And finally, we have the delete key. So if I want to select something and instead of pressing delete on the keyboard, I can also click the delete button up here. Finally, we're going to talk about breakdowns, which you may have seen in a previous video about the estimate management screen, but I'm going to go over it again here just to show you that we've brought in the default template that comes with Quantify. And what comes in that default template is default breakdowns. So we can have systems, whether it's lighting, distribution, fire alarm. We can also have some mechanical systems in here. Bid forms, there's nothing that comes in with the default template. Spec sections, we bring in quite a few of those. And trades, electrical and mechanical. And location is empty. Now, you don't have to use any of these breakdowns if you don't want to, but it is a good practice to use at least some of them. Maybe you don't want to use anything in the bid form or the location, or maybe even trade. Maybe everything you do is either electrical or mechanical, and that's fine. But splitting up your takeoff by system so you know what is your lighting, what is your distribution, what is your controls will allow you later on to summarize properly if you need to see how much am I spending on lighting or how much labor is involved with distribution. You can see all these attributes later on if you set them up ahead of time. The same can be said for location, especially on either multi-story buildings or in residential. So for any of these sections, if I want to add something else, I can say add, a location for first floor. And then let's add another one, second floor, and let's add a third one for basement. Now we can see when I go to do a takeoff, I can select whether I'm working in the first floor, second floor, or basement. And when I do the takeoff, having selected whether it's these systems or whether it's the locations or however you're using breakdowns, I select them as I go, and then everything I take off goes into that system or that location or that spec section. Again, this seems like a little bit extra work, and it is, but it is a very small amount of work for what's going to help you immensely later on. That's all for this video, and there is so much more to learn about Quantify, and there are quite a few more videos. I hope you check them out to learn everything that this platform has to offer. And if you'd like any more information, please feel free to reach out to us at info@patabid.com.